Welcome to Jerusalem. I'm here sweating. It's quite hot today at Mount Zion, next to the room of the Last Supper, which is right there. Beneath us is the tomb of King David. And the room of the Last Supper, for me, it's the preparation of the celebration of Jesus' final Passover meal, or a day before it, the washing of the disciples' feet, the Last Supper, the resurrection appearance of Jesus. Remember Thomas, the gathering of the disciple after the ascension of Jesus, and the selection of Saint Matthias as an apostle instead of Judas, the descent of the Holy Spirit upon the disciples on the day of the Pentecost. And this is the Pentecost day, and that's why I'm here. Sadly, the Pentecost room is closed from the beginning of the war between Hamas and Israel, and not a lot of tourists. But today I saw one or two groups that maybe came for Pentecost, and let's go to see if the room is open. And if it is, I expect to see some groups here. Let's see if it's open. It is! Yeah, of course it is, because soon, about an hour or 2 hours, the Catholic will arrive here to prepare the Pentecost celebration here. It's one of 7, I think, days that Christians can use it. Sadly, it belongs to the Israeli government, mainly because downstairs it's King David tomb. And let's enter to see what's happening there, because I can hear some noise. The acoustic is not so well. That looks like a group. I don't know if they're talking, I think they're talking English. I can see the nun here. You can hear the acoustic. And let's go outside a little bit. I think they already had a ceremony, which is so sad that I didn't visit it with them. We didn't sit together. But if it's Pentecost, now let's talk about it here until they will go. We are going back to the chapter, to the book of Acts. You know what, let me try to stand here because the view is much nicer. Although, a little bit of height won't kill me. I'm not sure, might kill me. A little bit afraid. I reached the age that I'm afraid of it. Can you believe it? Then, chapter 8, book of Acts. Jesus tells the disciple, just before he ascended into heaven for Mount of Olives, don't live in the city. Come back to the room and wait for the promise of the Lord, of the Father of God. They didn't know how long they're going to be in Jerusalem, but the drama came very, very fast. It took them 10 days until the drama actually appeared. Then altogether, from the time of Passover until now, 50 days, and that is Pentecost in English, or actually I think it's in Greek, 5 times 10 days. And this is another important Jewish festival day. If Passover is one of them and everyone must be in the city, Shavuot, the time that they got the Torah from Mount Sinai, was 50 days after Passover. Then this is the second festival that every Jew had to be in the city. And in that case, the disciples didn't plan to leave the city, but Jesus told them to go back to the same room, to the same area. and to wait for something. Now, what actually happened is that the holy fire went into the room, although it's a closed room, and touched each one of them, and Mary was there. For me, this is a beautiful symbol of the unity between men and women, between genders in the place, because women were here as well. At least Mary, the mother, was there. I assume that Mary Magdalene was there too, but that's what I assume. And the drama was so important because Jesus, if you remember, was baptized by the Jordan River, but the Holy Spirit ascended into it. Oh, look at the group of soldiers. Not all of them are white, because Judaism is not a race. That's from the Air Force. And what are they doing here? They are here to visit the city. It's Sunday, it's the first day of the week. And on Sunday, every soldier goes back to the army, but before they're going to the army, some of them are visiting Israel. Today they are visiting Mount Zion. Maybe they will go to visit the Western Mall, as I believe, with a tour guide that specializes for Israelis. I'm not one of them. I am so good, or trying to be as good as I can as a Christian tour guide, but and that's because of that I don't have a war. I'm not working for 7 months because it's a war between Israel and Hamas from Gaza, and now I can say Hezbollah, another terror organization from Lebanon that sadly control Lebanon, which I want to visit one day. Palestinian people, a lot of them are my friends. Before the war, I could visit it. I know so many places. I've been in Bethlehem and Jericho like a million times. I respect people. I cannot respect terror organization. Sadly, I won't do that. But we are going back to reality. Pentecost! Then the difference between John and Jesus' Pentecost is that being baptized by the Holy Spirit. Just like Jesus was baptized, but Jesus is the only one who baptized. By that, John baptized the people with water. Then in that case, to be baptized in the Holy Spirit, this is the story. For me, that room that we are going to visit now, and I hope it's going to be less crowded and noisy, is not less than the first church ever. Remember, eat that bread, drink that wine. And the first church ever, because the message was to spread Christianity all over. At that day, 3,000 people, most of them were Jews, converted themselves into Christianity. Then let's try to go in, although I can hear the noise. Hello. And look how beautiful it is. The room, as we believe, is from the 12th century, and what I want you to see, that's an Arabic local Israelis. I thought that they are tourists. I think it's the same group who were here last Pentecost, and it's beautiful to listen to that. I hope that they will sing a little bit more, but who knows? I think they are from Nazareth. Remember, the last video that I took from Jaffa Gate to here, I talked about Suleiman the Magnificent to build the wall of the city. He is the one who took that room of the Last Supper and the tomb of King David, which is beneath us, and gave it to the Muslims, turned it into a mosque. I hope that you can hear me. Then you can see the mihrab facing to Mecca, and the inscriptions window with Arabic inscriptions about King David and Shahada is to the left of it. And right there, there's inscriptions from his time that say we took it from the pagan people, pagan Christians, who believes in the Trinity, and turned it into a mosque. Then from the 15th century until 1948, that room used to be a mosque. The Jews and the Christians couldn't enter to here, mainly because they didn't allow us to enter. There's still a debate if that room was established at the 12th century, and I believe that it was, or at the 15th century, but it wasn't the same room from Jesus' time. And I want you to understand it. That city been destroyed a few times after Jesus' time, and everyone knows that the Romans destroyed the city. But those are beautiful Christians, Crusaders arches, and you can see some marks from the Crusader time here and here. For us, what is going to be here soon is the Pentecost ceremony. Pentecost ceremony will be held here. The Catholic Franciscans will cover the mihrab, and you will see an altar exactly where that lady is standing, and that will be the room of the Holy Spirit. Nice, isn't it? I already uploaded. I will upload a video of it before I will upload that video. Then if they will let me take a video at the ceremony, from time to time they do, to time they don't, I will upload it and you will be able to see the ceremony. It's so rare to see a ceremony here. Sadly, for so many years you could pray here as Christians. For the last, I think, 10-15 years, it's not allowed. Let me go there to show you the inscription. I hope that you can hear me. This is the inscription, and in it, in the Holy Spirit Chapel, there is a fake. Oh, look at that! There is a fake tomb of King David, and I hope that later on the door will be open and I will be able to take a video of it. Meanwhile, I took a video of it from last year, and you will be able to watch it through that. I uploaded it today, then you will be able to watch it. Look how beautiful is that room, and full with people. Sadly, most of them, if not all of them, are local. What else? I wanted to see two more things. First one is a tree from the time from 2000. The Pope gave us it. It's from the letter, one of the letters of the Romans. And the second one is a capital from the 12th century that tells us that at that time it was the room of the Last Supper. You will see it soon. Let me show you the tree, if I will be able to enter. This is the tree itself that was given us by the Pope in 2000, and the idea is, the letters say that St. Paul already realized that people started to hate the Jews, and he said, if you will cut the trunk, Judaism, you the new branches will die too. But he gave us the beautiful present with three trunks: Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. I wish that it will be like that. Sadly, there's a war between the different religions, and this is sad. This is sad, because we can live together. And this is Another beautiful structure. Look at the capital. You can see. Oh, wait a minute. A falcon mother who actually tries to feed her own chicks, and because she couldn't find some food for them, and she did it, and it's beautiful. And that's actually the story of Jesus. Eat that flesh. If you will believe with me, you won't starve. The top of it is from the Muslim time. And let me take you, just for a minute to the lower place. Anyhow, it's a little bit noisy here. To visit the tomb of King David, which is a Jewish synagogue. And the Jewish tomb is actually just beneath the Holy Spirit chapel, the fake tomb that the Muslims built for the Jews and for the Christians. And until until actually the British, you couldn't enter to it, but now you can. What is important for me to tell you that structure is one building. And it's important to understand that at the 4th century, we already knew about two churches here, a huge one, Hagia Zion, Holy Zion, and that's for a different video. Next to it, a small chapel of King David. We don't know it was for King David's room, King David's tomb. The tomb of King David became to be famous only at, I think, the 10th century. But it was built as a church, and that's what I want you to understand. When I will go into the tomb, you will see kind of altar facing to the east. That was part of the church. For the Christians, Jesus was a prophet, the king. He was a king, but it's not so important for him. And he actually talks about Jesus. Go to the chapter 2 at the book of Acts and read the second part, which usually people are not reading. About St. Peter talks about the importance of King David, which is so important for Christianity. From the dynasty of King David, Jesus actually rise. But King David is not as important as Jesus. King David died, Jesus didn't. And I want you to see it because I think it's important. Another important thing here is that stones. To build a house, look at that. Small stones is more than enough. But here, right here, and the southern part of it as well, a bit noisy now, you can see that those stones are huge. Some believe that it was taken from the temple after the destruction of the temple, and maybe, only maybe, the Jews who believe in Jesus at that time, I'm not sure that they thought that they are Christians, build a synagogue for maybe King David, but room of the Last Supper, which is the upper room. Remember, this is one of the names. You can see the mihrab from the 16th century when the Ottomans turned it into a mosque. Then the Jews must, here, most of the Jews are separated themselves from women, men and women. We will enter sadly to the men's department. You must wear a yarmulke, kippah, even though you are not a Jew. And even the structure itself of the tomb is from the time of the Crusaders. The tomb, of course, is in it. It's only the place that marked the tomb. You can see here a synagogue. And usually there's a Torah scroll. Then you can actually read things about that's from Psalm of that King David, according to the Jews, wrote. Why not according to the Jews? Now the second part of the chapter is about. Let me read it a little bit for you. Peter addressed to the crowd, and he actually talks at, let me see it. Yeah, from 22. We actually talk about King David, and he mentioned. All right, it's 25. David said about him, "I saw the Lord's always before me, because He is my right hand. I will not be shaken." And the rest. The Jews actually think that he talks about him, but not talked about his eternity. He knows that he's going to die. He's a human being, but for the Christian, those sentences is so important because he died, and he didn't write it about himself. He wrote it about Jesus himself. This is beautiful. Then what I wanted to see is those sentences in the shape of a menorah. Just at the entrance to the tomb, right there. And this is the tomb of King David, or David. You can see here the altar, Christian or not, facing to the east. The women part is at the other side. It's beautiful to see that they are praying, they are studying together, and this is beautiful in Judaism. The disciples are studying together and trying to convince each other that their way is the best way. And this is amazing. If you're entering here alone, you must understand that you must have a kippah. And here, there's so many kippahs that you can actually wear. I'm wearing a hat, then I don't need a kippah. We saw the men department, and the women department is there. Just above us is the fake tomb of Jesus, and if you remember, we saw the kind of the bird that fed the chicks. It's right there. You saw the stairs going down. If you will climb up, you will reach it. Because the Christians didn't see the importance of King David as a king, more like a prophet, the Muslims saw David as a prophet. They call it Prophet David, and the mosque that they built here is called Mosque of David. There's so many things to talk about at Pentecost. To compare Mount Sinai to Pentecost, it's almost obvious. The holy fire, everyone was gathering together to listen to what God tells them. They didn't see him, but they could hear him. Million things to talk about it, but I think 23 minutes is more than enough. If you want to support me, then first, send that channel to everyone that you know, and secondly, write something to me. Tell me that you watch everything. Leave a comment, and if you want to help me financially, and then I will be able to visit that place every time. I'm trying to upload a video every day because I'm not working anyhow, but I need a little bit of money. Then at the description you will find more text about the tour, and you will see 2 links for Buy Me Coffee and PayPal, and through there you can actually support me. Look at the like button next to it. There's a shape of a heart. It's called Super Thanks. This is the YouTube way to support me, and the most important thing, write something to me. Tell me that you already subscribe to my channel. Tell me that you visit, that you are part of my family. And I'm heading now to drink something and to enjoy the air condition of the Dormition Church. the place of Mary, which is much more than that. Then thank you very much for being with me. If you do have some questions, don't hesitate. Bye-bye.